I present to you your queen, Queen Buttercup.
Boo! Boo! Rubbish, filth, slime, muck. Boo! Boo!
What's up, guys? It's Benny. We live in very serious times with serious consequences for incompetence. I fly into Washington, D.C. tomorrow. I'm going to land at Reagan National Airport, right where this happened. Ladies and gentlemen, we still have no answers as to why a Black Hawk Army helicopter smashed into the side of a commercial aircraft, killing 70 people. It wasn't flying where it was supposed to. It was twice as high. It was a mile off course. And we still don't have the recordings from inside the cockpit. The individual flying the Black Hawk helicopter was a former Joe Biden staffer, somebody who was just a part-time pilot. Why is that allowed in the most restricted and congested airspace in America? Don't make no sense. They hid the names of the pilots at first. All of it we need answers to. We need government officials who can be open and honest with us about what's actually going on in our nation. You have to have a functional transportation ecosystem to have a functional economy and a functional country. People have to trust that they will fly and that they will land safely. Ladies and gentlemen, sadly, there's been a spate of planes falling from the sky. This is obviously what I believe to be an aftermath effect of years of DEI hiring and incompetence and sort of the calcification of bad systems over time. So do you know that the air traffic control system that we currently use has been around since the 1950s, since World War II? Here you can see a crash in Philadelphia. What looked like a freaking missile. Here's another, look at this. Looks like a missile. Bam. Goodness gracious. We're so lucky that only one person outside of the plane actually died here. And they're not lucky. I mean, I'm just saying that it could have been so much worse. Look at that fueling station. What if the plane had crashed in the fueling station? Look at this gas station right here. Here's the plane. Here's the gas station. You could have had so many deaths. But anyway, one is too much. 7 people died in this crash. And now we have new footage of the crash that occurred yesterday in Toronto.
Oh! Oh! Oh, no, 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 no.
So the plane burst into flames and flip over. And pilots are popping off on this, saying that this is pilot error that happened here. Many were saying maybe it's the runway. The runway clearly does not look clean, right? Maybe it's the weather. Perhaps it's a confluence of all of it, but nonetheless, here's more footage of it. You can see the plane hitting so hard onto the runway, right? Just smashes into the runway. The pilot didn't flare the aircraft before touchdown. This is where you create wind resistance and lift with the plane so that it kind of like floats and glides down. Instead, the plane just smashed into the ground. It slammed to the ground, dropping at a rate so fast the main gear collapsed. The right wing breaks off. The plane rolls and skids to a stop, then flips over. Is what you're seeing here. So professional pilots are saying that this is pilot incompetence or perhaps some type of terrible malfunction on the plane. Nonetheless, it doesn't bode well for those pushing wokeness or lowering of the standards across air travel. Many have been predicting that this will result in horrible deaths, and, well, I'm sorry to say that we were right. One of the people pushing wokeness is Justin Trudeau. Justin Trudeau blasted for inappropriate social media response to Toronto plane crash. So you have a Toronto plane crash where multiple people were medevaced, still in critical condition. You have 18 people who've been terribly injured in this plane crash. And while Donald Trump held multiple press conferences and was out in front saying we're going to fix it, and now the Department of Transportation saying we're going to bring in SpaceX engineers, we're going to fix our entire airline industry, Justin Trudeau posted poems. I kid you not. It's like he sat in silence about this. It's probably the worst thing that you can possibly do. It says that you're hiding something or that you're ashamed of something. Canadian Prime Minister Justin Trudeau has been blasted on social media after posting about hockey, and then a poet, the 53-year-old, shared a clip on his X profile of a Canadian national team beating Finland. Okay, fine. You have a right to do that, but like, one, America just kicked your guys' ass. And then two, is this really the time to post about his relationship with an indigenous communities in Canada? As he was posting, Delta Flight 4819 crashed into the Toronto Pearson Airport amid windy weathers, gusts hitting 40 miles per hour. The cause of the crash, which left 18 people with injuries, is not yet known. 80 people on board the flight, making it out alive, after it ended up on its roof on fire. Trudeau's ex-profile remained without any mention of the incident. Jeez. The Minister of Transportation says, I want to thank all the first responders, blah, blah, blah. So Justin Trudeau just completely zoinked out. Look at this. A literary giant champion of Acadian culture, storyteller like no other. The impact of her words in our country, cultural landscape for a generation. Canada puts the game away. I'm going to honor Canada's indigenous people. I mean, it really smacks of someone who's just completely checked out. Justin Trudeau has announced his resignation. He's announced that he's resigning in shame for Canada 3 hours into the plane crash. And Trudeau is still nowhere to be found. Not even a tweet, nothing. Pure silence. He's too busy hanging out with his cuck beta buddy, Prince Harry, to be bothered to address the nation. It's a really bad look, honestly. Justin Trudeau has still not tweeted about the plane crash. It happened 3 hours ago. They don't give an F about Canadians to be bothered to show up for them, pathetic leaders. Both of them. Let me get this straight. The Toronto plane crash didn't happen because of Trump, Buttigieg, DEI, or Doge, or wokeness of the FAA. It happened because Canada, under Trudeau, has become a third world country that can no longer keep their runways clear of ice at its largest airport. So people are roasting him for beta soy boy cuck hangout after the crash. So this is like honestly a terrible look. Donald Trump was furious after the crash at Reagan National Airport. He came out swinging. He was so angry. He did multiple press conferences, addressed the nation, signed executive orders, took immediate action. Justin Trudeau is like grilling, like chilling and smiling with royalty. I'm extremely concerned about the plane crash earlier this afternoon in Toronto's airport. My thoughts are with the passengers wishing rapid recovery. This is Pierre Poilievre, who will perhaps be the governor of Canada in the near future, as soon as they call a damn election. Justin Trudeau getting completely ratioed here. Resign. This is him talking about storytellers. Resign. Canada is sick of you. A literary giant, a champion of culture, a voice far and wide. How about the voice of the people who were, like the majority of people on that flight were Canadian, who just slammed into the runway? Still nothing about the plane crash? No response or message in regards to the plane crash. You are the worst PM in Canadian history. Not a word about the crash. You are an effing loser. No comment about the plane crash. Plane just crashed. Do you know a plane flipped over in Toronto, right? There's a plane crash in Toronto, right? Delta has responded. Says they continue to respond to the single aircraft incident. In total, 21 injured passengers were transported to local hospitals. Tuesday morning, 19 have been released. What's going on? We'll do everything that we can to support them and their families. More importantly, what happened? Delta's incident response team deployed to Toronto Monday evening includes specially trained Delta care team representatives who provide support for customers and employees. What happened on your flight? Who's responsible? Delta and connecting flight has resumed. Who's responsible? Makes me so angry. Tell us what happened, please. Okay. Yeah, again, we know there was a crash. Why did it happen? Yeah, nothing. Okay. Well, sure it'd be nice to know why Toronto plane crash survivors were left hanging upside down like fruit bats. A survivor of the Toronto plane crash said on Tuesday there was no warning signs before the Delta jet burst into flames and flipped over, hanging them upside down like bats. There was no warning from the pilot. He tells Fox News the horrifying crash. There was no physical warning either. I just didn't feel like anything was wrong until the second the wheels touched the ground, and it was mayhem from there. We hit the ground, and we bounced, and we turned on our side, and we slid. then we were just hanging upside down. All of it happened pretty fast. Jeez. Seriously. Why did it happen? Thank you very much. My plane crashed and I'm upside down. Is this like the new normal? Goodness gracious. Of course, CNN's trying to blame it on Trump. That's right. Plane crashes in Canada, it's Trump's fault. The only way that you're able to stop this from happening again is by telling us who did what, who's to blame, how were there consequences, and how we're going to stop it from happening. That's it. With the Black Hawk crash, with the crash in Philadelphia, that could have been so much worse, or with this, with a bunch of people hanging upside down on a runway. It's a miracle that more people weren't horribly mangled, hurt, or dead because of this. And Justin Trudeau can't be bothered to tweet about it. What a piece of garbage. Seriously, what a piece of garbage. Deport him to Cuba. Guantanamo Bay, I know, a great place. It's your boy Benny. Like, share, and subscribe.